Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome to SongLab. We are back March 19th, doing things a little bit bigger and better and still keeping things fresh. We got new artists. We have wonderful people here to give you a good insight to what's going on in the community. So I want to introduce the two people in front of me. One is an artist. One is a prominent figure that you need to get to know. Let me start on my left with the artist. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you and connect with you and your music.
My name is Arian Nicole. I am from Peoria, Illinois, Michigan, now in Arizona. And I'm an artist that loves other artists. I am an activist, healer, creative director, and you can find me on all social media under Arian Nicole. Arian, Nico.
Nice, nice. All right, let me go ahead and hear from you also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Brother Tremikus, chair of the Phoenix Local Organizer Committee for Justice for Health. I'm a grassroots organizer, community leader, executive director, business owner, husband to Arian Nicole, father of 5 sons.
Yes.
And so, you know, this is the work that I do. This is what I'm involved in. Shout out again to SongLab 100%. Appreciate you all allowing us to come in and do this interview. This is the first interview we've done together, a podcast we've done together. So that's a beautiful thing. So thank you, brother.
Oh, well, you know, it's first all around, and that's to be celebrated. But also, think about this. We have creativity connected to a passion and purpose. So that right there is powerful. And you're looking at that. So when they try to say that you don't have any good examples of that, well, we definitely got that. So let me first start with you, Brother Tremikus.
Yes, sir.
Let me hear about what you've been doing in the community and really what got you to where you are today and why.
Oh man, that's a deep question. I'll start from the last question. Try to make it brief. Started when I was 16 years old, in Flint, Michigan. Mainly focused on what they call gang intervention. I don't like to call it gang intervention. I was just talking to my brothers. I joined the Nation of Islam, and from that point forward, I left that life at 16 years old, and then tried to become an example for brothers in that life to come out of it. So I started that back when I was 16 years old, and then things moved on, and I matured and I grew in my understanding of what we needed to do. So I chair the Phoenix LOC. Our idea is to develop our community's needs, right? To not depend on others to do us, but we got the ability to do for ourselves, whether that's growing food, whether that's teaching business, whether that's art and culture, whether that is school, education. We did our first summer school program last year. We get ready to do another one this year, centered around Black education, right? We wanted to make sure that not only did the students have Black teachers, but that the students had a curriculum developed by Black people. They can take back control of their own little Black mind, right?
Yes.
Right. So,
yes.
Those are some of the things that we do: science and technology, defense, learning how to, and I think you experienced one of our self-defense classes, but really learning how to prepare our community for anything that may be coming that will harm us. You know, we've seen what's happened in the past. It's one thing to pull out a cell phone camera and record, but it's another thing to be able to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And provide protection for your own community. So we move in that way. Black independence, self-reliance, doing for self, being dedicated. It's a group of brothers and sisters, and we're not all the same religion. We're not all the same belief. We're not all from the same education background, but we all believe in the advancement of our people. So that's a kind of a nutshell framework of what we do.
Well, that's a big nutshell.
Yeah.
Definitely a hard one to crack, but I see that you're working your way at it.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, we've been working at this. We're going in our 8th year of this type of work, and it's been rewarded because what it's been for me and others, it's been life changing. Because we got history behind us, and we can look at those who fought for freedom, liberation, and we can study them, and we can understand what they were attempting to do, right? and then we could build on the back of that work, right? We don't have to just be historically looking at it, right? We can look at it and say, okay, these were the steps they made. You know, let's take it into the future, right? Let's take it to the next level. And it for me, it's very critical sport, because I always say my sons might have to fight. They won't have to fight the same fight that I fight. That's
good.
That's
good. That's good. We want to change the fight to where we're moving up. We want to progress up into bigger and better fights. You know, there's bigger things for us to fight. So I love that. And honestly, I bet that has had some effect on your wife's music as well, like all the things that you guys do, as far as being involved in the community and everything that you've done. But I know you have your own story to tell. Right. Don't let me diminish that. Let me go ahead and give you a chance for people to be introduced to you and let them know about what it is that you are doing. Like, as far as like, not only with just the music, but, you know, that you do alongside of.
Well, inspired to get into, first and foremost, I was like 8 or 9 years old. Mother had a record player, so she put all of that into me. I started writing and singing and songwriting. Stevie Wonder, Rakim. See right there.
Nice.
Fire, Phil Collins, Michael Jackson, like everybody, right? But one of the things I really was led with, even as a child, was the condition of, because the apartment complex that I grew up in, each apartment was a different story, and it was a trauma. And I, you know, in my mind, I knew that there had to be a resolution.
Yeah. And
when I listened to Stevie, I heard a higher level of healing and consoling. Like, the music has the capacity to take you away from it all.
It makes sense.
And I said that, wow, that's a superpower. I want to be like them. I want to administer a medicine. And so everything music I gravitated towards. I started playing different instruments. I didn't teach too many of them except for one, and that's the saxophone.
Oh.
My mother, you know, in jazz, like the jazz really hit me. And so I do produce music. I write music. I belong to a national songwriting organization. And when it comes to the activism, my husband and I both had joined the NOI.
Okay.
And I heard about them early on. So my mother had me watch a video tape. I was like 8 years old. You know, they're different. They're late, you know. Yep. And I said, oh my goodness, when I become an adult, that's where I'm going. And so I did. I was like, you know, I did my thing first and then. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I really heard the message of nationhood and nation building. And then I found my place and I dedicated my life to that. And that's one thing I was say, like, this, we live this.
Yes.
And it comes out in the music that.
Oh wow. Nice. So it is the base of your music because it's your life. Your music is still your life and it has been your life. That's awesome. That's what I derived from it. So that's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful to see. I think the artists nowadays, you know, say the ones that are looking towards a status or looking towards a type of position, can lose connection with their base, with, you know, why they do what they do, and they don't have enough to back up the music they make, so it could dry up the well. But I think that will make sure that it's a you know, well, what is it? The fountain of youth, right? Or, you know, yeah, that there's definitely water in that well for you to draw from, so that the creativity keeps flowing. So that's awesome.
I like that. If I make a song called Water in the Well, I'll think.
Hey, please let me know. Hey, I have no problems accepting any writer credit. No, I'm done. But no, that's awesome, and that's great to hear. So thank you guys for coming. I mean, it's wonderful having you guys here. I mean, as a team, but just your influence here. So, I mean, definitely connect with the other artists, give them some of your energy because they're going to need it. And we need more people to, you know, come into the fold, come into the community and work with each other. So we have this network that we're looking to have.
Yes,
and I thank you for your work. Let us just say that it is important nowadays. Everybody's looking at where to find a community garden, and you've been doing this.
Right. Right.
You've been setting these things up so the community can have a garden.
Yeah, necessary, man. You know, we have to take our food security theory. And the
100%.
thing for us was, you know, they talk about food deserts and things of that nature, but we got land all around.
Yeah.
And if you farm the land, what do you need? What do you need to worry about a food desert for? So that's a perfect example, right? Because that was us saying, listen, we don't have to depend on the food bank. You don't have to go stand in line. Go to the earth, take a seed. You may pay $2 for a pack of seeds and go, brother, in our front yard, we're growing two orange trees, artichokes, tomatoes, bell peppers. In our backyard in buckets, we got garlic and broccoli. In our bed, we got beets, we got carrots, sunflower. This is in my, and I live not, we ain't got a big large yard. We talking about an apartment, right? So when you think about what we're able to produce from the land, the minister said the wise use of the land, right? It's critical. And then here's the thing, and I'll say this, all over the world, when you go to Black nations, go to the Caribbean, go to Africa, one of the key things that you find that's congruent all the way through is though we the indigenous people of those lands, or we are the major population of those lands, we don't control the land. We don't even grow our own food. We bring our food in. Think about the idea of African starving. That's crazy. This is one of the most resourceful continents in the world.
Yeah, you should be able to go anywhere and grow something.
Grow something, but we don't have control of our own food production, number one. So when I hear brothers talk about, we got our ministry of defense. When I hear brothers and sisters talk about grabbing a gun, I say, do you grow your own food? Because let me tell you something. When push comes to shove, you can't eat them bullets.
Pretty much.
And if your enemy understands, we see it in Ukraine and different wars, they cut off the supply line, right? So our thinking has to grow. It has to mature. It has to develop, because we are not a people who can say that we've ever been accepted in the dominant society worldwide.
Right.
So if we have not been accepted, and it's been almost 600 years that we can count in modern history, we ain't been accepted in 600 years. You don't have to wait 600 more years to decide or determine whether or not we will be accepted. No, we need to take the next 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 years to develop our own nation, our own people.
100%.
See it. Yeah, brother, you see it all over the world. When you, I'll stop on this. When you
good.
Turkish Empire, out 1,000 years in development.
Yeah.
And these Turks were nomad farmers, but they developed their nation on principles and honor and warriorship and independence, so they became one of the most powerful empires in the world, right? They broke Rome. So some of the things that we as a people may think, because of the past, we may think, well, we can't do this, but we can. And it's examples in the history. We unite, come together, in brotherhood and sisterhood, and in love with each other, look out for each other, and care for each other. There's nothing that can stop us, because when I eat, you eat.
We all
eat. My children are educated, and your children become educated, right? When
my child is gonna need to educate yours,
brother. And you're talking about the type of fight that we're in, and I listen. We are people. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But we are people, brother. You got to chop it up. But we are people, brother, who have literally had a history of watching the assassination of our leadership. Thomas Jefferson lived to be 70, almost 80 years old. So European Americans got the benefit of his wisdom both in his young age and in his youth. But Malcolm was cut down at 39. Martin was cut down at 39. So the assassination of our leaders have robbed us of the wisdom of their development, both in their youth and in their later years. Well, if Thomas Jefferson's development led to the establishment of a nation independent of the European nation, then what would the development of our leadership have meant for us? So we got to take that in consideration. We are people who have been robbed, not just of our language, our religion, our culture, our continent. We have been a people who have been robbed of our future. So if that's your mindset, then how do you move in the world knowing that your future is at stake, 100%. Right? So we have to think differently, and that's what we're all about. We're all about not just activism, standing on the street with protests and signs. That's wonderful. But what about developing institutions? What about developing ideas? Last thing, George Washington Carver, I'm gonna paraphrase what he said. He said, listen, if you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about controlling what he does. Right. He said, you don't even have to tell him to go to the back door. he said that the man will seek the back door on his own. And if there is no back door, he'll demand that you make one for him. So what our enemies have done consistently is controlled our thinking. And this is why what she's doing and other artists are doing is so critical.
Yeah.
Because the music that they make and the idea, the spouse in that music, when it's conscious music, when it's education in the music, when it's spiritual development in the music, and it's possible, now you start shaping the minds and thinking of future generations. What you see now was done 20 years ago through Two Live Crew and other NWA, gangster rap, and all this stuff. It developed a mindset and a thinking that you see present in our community today. We got to take charge of that. We can't have all of these artists and everybody trying to sign with Sony and whoever else they trying to sign with, when these people are dictating to them the music and the message that they put out. We got to take control of that ourselves.
It's really always about who owns the relationship between you and the end user, so to speak, or the person, right? So even as you're saying, like, you know, they control our thinking. They program the way we do things in order to make even what we think is the correct choice within the box of predefined selected things that they're ready for. And that they're able to, you know, maneuver us through a maze of lies and keep us in our positions. And I think that situation, it's still duping a lot of us, most of us today. We become consumed by it versus looking for ways to free ourselves or looking for any way of any type of sovereignty from the issues that we face daily, so that we can move forward in our lives and better ourselves. I agree that is 100% an issue I've seen just coming up. I've dealt with daily. I deal with daily, and I've dealt with way more extremes, you know, than now. Now it's, you know, things stable out. But I 100% agree, and it's necessary, I think, for us to have more creativity that speaks to that. For us to have more music that talk. You know, I was telling my friend the other day, I don't really listen to rap music only because it doesn't fit, say, emotional states that I have in my life. It does fit sometimes. If I want to go to the club, I'll put it on because I'm going to be in that position. But other than that, if I'm feeling down about something, I may listen to Tame Impala. I may throw on some, there's this band called Phoenix it's a French band. You know, it's literally called Phoenix. I may listen to some of their music because it fits my emotional state. So I definitely agree with that as well. And I see artists just choosing to pick one frame of music.
What we've done, number one, we co-own a book. Grassrootz.
Nice.
In the state of Arizona, and I think
outside of California.
Oh, okay.
And so I've started an annual hip hop fest, the Grassrootz Hip Hop Festival, because of what you're saying. We want to expand, right?
Yeah.
And showcase that feel that we had, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about when KRS ONE was, you know, the CNN of the ghetto.
Yeah.
And we talked about more subjects that we want to maintain and own that part of our culture.
Yeah.
This
Own that relationship. Yep.
You want to own it. Why? You know, it's someone else's children's children benefiting from an institution that I created.
Correct.
I said, no, we can have that, retain that. The music industry generated about 24 billion, I believe, maybe. You know, and hip hop accounts for a great percentage of that. You know, the money goes to Spotify.
Yeah.
Money goes to all these other companies. I think that Jay-Z now, he is not a majority stake owner anymore in Tidal. But is on the board of directors.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I hurried up and with the Tidal was because I've always been searching for ways to support us in this industry.
Yeah.
Because the message is so important. Our legacy must be preserved, and we must be the teachers and the cultivators.
Yeah.
We're the originators we're the teachers.
Yeah.
The civilizers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that through the music. And I said, okay, how can we start doing that? We can start owning our narrative. We'll put on a festival. We'll gather the artists, educate the artists. We'll tell you exactly what to say, but we're going to have a discussion before we record.
Yeah.
We're going to elevate the frequency. Now, you put that into the mic.
Nice. That's what it needs to be.
August 11th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Grassrootz.
Please plug it in. Plug in the event, and then also tell them where they can find out more about Grassrootz, the bookstore. Tell them all the stuff. Give it all up. Give it all up. We want to hear it all. please.
So it will stay on August 11th every year because that is the official birthday of hip hop. DJ Kool Herc, he is the originator of the placing the drums in a loop and looping them over and over. And you wouldn't have what we have today without Brother DJ Kool Herc. So that's why we're keeping it on August 11th, rain or shine. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever day it falls on. And then also that is located at Grassrootz. We might, expand. And then also Grassrootz Bookstore, that is grassroots.com. Grassrootz with a Z.
Okay.
745 East Washington, Phoenix, Arizona. So, and it's so powerful. She got a song that says, when you step off stage and put up the mic, it go right back to living their life. You could have changed it, right? This is to understand this and understand the power of music. I mean, you got Japanese, you got Russian rappers, you got the hip hop influences the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
right. So we
hip hop is now, isn't that the world's largest?
It's the world's largest.
It's the world's largest music industry.
Yes.
But John started from hip hop. I'm sorry.
And it's ours. We gave birth
Yes.
to it. Now, so we should be taking command of that. And that's what brother, what we as a people have to regain is the spirit of conquerors.
Yeah.
People don't like to use that kind of language, but when you in the state that we're in, you talked about the state of mind. I was reading an article about Black trauma. I mean, the article was about police killing or something like that. But at the end of the article, they had a disclaimer. And the disclaimer says something to the effect of reading about Black trauma has shown that to put you in a mental state of stress and anxiety. They said that if you find yourself in this state, call this number. And they had an 800 number. This is the degree of trauma and suffering that's going on and pressure that's going on the minds of our people. When you under that kind of pressure, you cannot have a pacifist mentality.
Correct.
It's not about being militant and throwing up a black fist, but if you do that, we happy for you.
Yeah.
What it's about is, how do I get this weight up off of me? And I can't get it off of me by asking you.
Yeah.
Because I've asked you and you continue the same system. You change the way that you do it, but the oppression is still there.
Yep.
I don't want to be happy because we got the first black CEO.
Yeah.
I don't want to be happy. Shout out to my sister. I'm proud of you for the work you've done, but I don't want to be happy because we got the first black woman on Supreme Court. Yeah. I don't want to be happy because we got the first black this and the first black that, because that's been almost 600 years in the making in the Western Hemisphere. What I want to be happy about is that we are establishing our own institutions of independence. Yep. What I want to be happy about is that we are establishing our own policies and systems that control our own community. That's what I want to be happy about, because the policies that are in existence do not serve us. And this is why we're constantly protesting and asking for policy change. 60 years we've been asking for policy change. We can't keep asking them if they don't have the willingness to do. So that's why the movement is called Justice or Else. People get scared. What's the or else? The or else is that if we can't get justice from you, which we have not, then we will do what's necessary for ourselves to develop our own community. That's the mind of a conqueror.
And I've said, and just to tail end it, I've said to many people, even when I was transitioning from, say, unsavory work to more stable means, I've told many people, you may not even like the system, and I don't like it either, but when I think about by any means, that means anything. So I'm down to do anything, but that doesn't mean that you have me, that I'm stuck, or that I'm trapped with it, because we all know you can't trap. You can't trap the body. You can't trap.
There's a certain danger in the reducing of the idea into a phraseology.
Yeah.
And they say, by any means necessary. But what was the context of Malcolm's speech? By any means necessary.
Well, everybody wants to go to the negative connotation of that, is what I really speak to, of saying that. Still, by any means yes, let's build our own schools. Let's build our own bridges to get to our own people. Let's do what we have by any means, meaning if I have to work a job for 10 years just to make the money so then that my son can have the position to do something that will free us. That's any means. I have no problem pumping that load or doing whatever I have to do, because those are the means that I can do. But if we're all working to make it by any means, and we all use our means to then help, bring it back into us, what can you say about that?
The beauty of that is that what Malcolm was saying in the spirit of it.
Yeah.
You got your foot on my neck.
Yeah.
I'm going to get your foot off of my neck. You're not going to tell me how to get your foot off of my neck. You're not going to tell me that I'm doing it. Look at George Floyd. He was a man that literally put his foot in George Floyd's knee as people were standing saying, hey, he's dying.
Yeah.
Hey, and this man was pleading for his life to the point a grown man crying for his mother. Hell no. I don't know if I can say that on your podcast, but the reality is you're not putting your foot on my neck or your foot on my brother's neck, and I let you determine at what point, man, it's 9 minutes and 46 seconds that you want to remove it after I'm dead. No, we getting you up off of us.
Yeah.
And it's not just getting you up off of us physically, it's getting you up off of us economically.
Yeah.
Getting you up off of us spiritually.
Yep.
Getting you up off of us in agriculture, in justice. Get off of me, right? And I'm going to move and establish for myself a means that doesn't allow you to put me in this position again.
Can I breathe?
Is that heavy?
Can I breathe? Give me enough room. Can I breathe? And so I understand exactly what you're saying 100%. No. You didn't get fired up. What happened is you're lighting the fire. You're bringing the spark. And that's what people need to recognize. And if we can get this out to more people, that's the best. That's what we're all here for.
And
essentially,
I would say this. We hear this. Black people can't unite. Black people, what about our religious difference? What about it? The Phoenix LOC is the example. We got brothers and sisters that follow the E5, brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. We got brothers and sisters that are Christian. We got brothers and sisters that just quote unquote Orthodox Muslim. We got brothers and sisters who some are in college, some never graduated from college. Some may make six figures, some work in Insta work, whatever it's called, driving
Instacart. Yeah.
I'm saying it's a diversity thing.
Yeah.
But what are we focused on? Are we sitting in the meeting debating who got the best God, debating who's got the best religion, debating who's driving the best car? No, we're looking at the condition of our people as a whole, and we're discussing the ideas and systems and plays that we need to make to change the condition of our people as a whole. And under that umbrella, we love each other, and we look out for each other, and we take care of each other. So we the example that Black people, no matter how diverse we are, if we are focused on the right thing, which is the rise of our people, the change of our condition, we can do it.
And we can. So with that, I want to thank you guys for coming again. And I want you guys to please spread that energy, because we need these artists to sprinkle a little bit of that in the trap. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If they can go ahead and share that, But other than that, if I can get you guys to once again introduce yourselves and then go ahead and give a shout out to SongLab so that people know where you're at, and let them know about all of the social medias, all the connections, websites, whatever they can do to get a hold of you and the content that you have to share.
Arian Nicole, Stevie with Soul. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. I'm getting ready to drop something, okay? Listen, I'm doing
you heard it.
music videos tomorrow. I've been gone. It is exclusive. But we're coming back. And so I'm happy to be on SongLab. Big up. Shout out to SongLab. Arian Nicole. NICO #1E.
And our brother Tremikus, chair of the Phoenix Local Organizer Committee for Justice of Else. You can find us at thephxloc.org, thephxloc.org, social media, phxloc.org, Phoenix LOC, and me personally, Brother Tremikus, on all platforms from TikTok to Twitter and everything in between. Thank you, SongLab, for what you're doing, the work that you're doing, the message that you're spreading. We appreciate you
both.
SongLab.
Thank you.
Shout out.
to lift the light of my sons behind. Mother, daughter, teacher, creator. Don't you know I'm the soul of the revolution? Soul is the revolution. I'm not gonna play my role in the revolution. No, I'm a revolution. Tall as the sun, you steep. Hope you know you're the sun for me. Indeed. Can't find your origin empty. Trace you back through the annals of history. You are the origin. I'm not sure if you know the beauty of your black chromosome. Deep in there, cornerstone of universe, foundation of it all. Brother, father, ruler, leader. Don't you know you're the soul of a revolution? Soul is a revolution. Won't you go play a role in the revolution? Know you the revolution. I share. I share. I say. I share. I say. I share. I share. Triple black gold of the sun. You are the one. Center. Power. Forever.
Happy to decompress from that, because a lot of times too, if I'm too far in the future,
Yep.
then I can't think about the present.